Okay, so starting off, we're here with Rural Alberta Advantage, Nils, Paul, and Amy.
Yeah.
Your album Hometowns came out last year.
Yes.
On Saddle Creek. And it also, did it come out in Canada before that? I know I had a copy before that.
It depends on what you define as out. We sort of started burning it ourselves and mailing them around and selling them at shows in about February of 2008. So it was
so it was around quite
scandal.
a while. It was around quite a while before.
Yeah, it was definitely around quite a while ago.
It did. It was there.
But you
couldn't buy it at a store. Or on the internet.
We did not want people to obtain it in any other way than through us.
Well, there wasn't a store that wanted to sell it.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, no.
No stores wanted to sell, and I read somewhere you guys played a show, and then it got turned into a Tim Hortons.
Yeah, that was our open mic night that we hosted. That's where we all met. We hosted this open mic night at this bar in Toronto called the Winchester. And no one would ever come to the open mic night, and so we got the job of hosting it after being there once. They're like, why don't you guys host it? So we hosted it, and eventually there's a big barroom brawl, and then they shut down the bar, and now it's a Tim Hortons.
In our defense, we were fired before the barroom brawl.
No, that's
we
not true.
were fired directly after that, but the fight didn't result in them closing.
Oh yeah,
they were going to close anyway.
They were going to close anyway, but I didn't mean to say they closed it because of the barroom brawl. It just didn't happen.
It happened that it was
Motorcycle
an unsuccessful.
They were singing karaoke and it went wrong, and then there was people got punched in the face.
Yeah, it's understandable. Okay, so you guys finished the record early 2008. It was out. You guys have been touring a lot. You guys played 11 shows in 4 days. Is that right, at South by Southwest?
Everyone's saying 11 shows in 4 days.
I know, I saw the number 11.
I don't
thought
really
that was
think
crazy.
it was 11, but...
I thought it was, like 8 shows, but then again, when you're at South by this year, it's sort of like, it's just this whirlwind of just stuff going on, so...
I think we played
it may have
shows
been.
in our sleep.
It was a lot of shows. It was a lot of shows, it felt like.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. It was worth it.
I'm sure you guys killed it.
We did. we technically killed it. No more South by.
Boston is now a Tim Hortons.
Exactly. We will shut down every festival and make
That'd be
it
so sad.
So you guys have been touring a lot. What's your kind of experience been like? I know you guys tour a lot up north in Canada as well as here. Kind of coming through Chicago. I know you guys are big fans of this establishment that we're tonight, Schubas.
Yes.
So what's kind of your cross-country experience been like?
It's funny because touring involves just so much driving, and in some ways it's sort of a blur outside of playing the shows and meeting the people. But I think we try to find different things in cities outside of just your standard stuff for McDonald's or stuff for Subway.
Yeah.
Try to find a local establishment that's well known to get some good food. But yeah, it's a lot of it is just sort of monotonous driving. Outside the shows.
How do you guys kind of cope with that for yourselves? I mean, obviously you probably do a lot of writing and practicing and all that stuff, but what do you kind of, to keep yourselves entertained, what do you...
Crossword puzzles for you guys?
Crossword puzzles.
We like the crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
Today I showed Paul a new game on my phone called Angry Birds. It's really good.
Yeah.
We're the boringest band in the world.
We are.
Nils listens to music and just enters some kind of Zen trance and drives for
And I just get us there safely.
Yeah.
Well, that's an important part of it, I suppose.
Absolutely.
So, Hometowns, an album I think I've already said 3 times that I love. How do you guys feel about kind of the track listing part of putting an album together? Because I think if you guys got on the radio, I think tracks 3 through 7 would be hits. I think,
in terms of sequencing them, or
in terms of you kind of, it starts off kind of slow, kind of getting into it with the ballad and then Rush Apart, and then it kicks into overdrive and doesn't really stop until after Louisiana ends.
Right.
And then it kind of, at the end, it kind of slows down again. Was that thinking about it, going into it, or was it kind of as you were laying them out?
Well, I'm a big fan of just music and mixtapes. you kind of obsess over, oh, is this song gonna fit here best? And it took a lot of time to sort of get like it felt like the right flow to an album, because it always feels like I like an album where you put it on, you want to keep it on, and it feels like it goes through an arc, and then when it's over, you want to listen to it again.
Yeah.
As opposed to, whoa, okay, yeah, yikes, this is great. Okay, just play a single. So that was definitely something, trying to get the track listing for it right, to try to sort of get that feeling where it definitely feels like it has an arc.
Yeah.
I think I did a lot of research on the internet. I read Jay-Z's ideas on sequencing albums, and I actually did. Just to see what people say about it. Just like, sequencing albums like this. But yeah, it was. I'm glad. I tried.
Yeah. Well, the guy didn't sell 10 million records for nothing.
I know. We're almost there.
Almost.
we're about 3 zeros away. Maybe a lot more zeros than that.
Hopefully we'll get you a couple more zeros with this.
Good.
Another thing, just listening to the record the past couple of weeks, and I knew we were doing this, I've been listening to a lot more with headphones, and I've noticed, like, on a couple tracks, Amy's backing vocals come out a lot more than if I'm, like, driving in the car, if I'm listening at home. Is that, like, the depth of your sound? Is that something that you guys go into, kind of, you want to layer it a lot, or is it just go into the studio and magic happens?
I think a lot of the credit for that goes to our producer, Roger Levins. He's doing this new record too, but once we track all the instruments and we've decided we're happy with all the parts, we kind of leave things in his hands to like shape the songs, and like put them together. And obviously we have input, but like I think a lot of the subtleties people mention when they listen to the record, that's all him doing his thing. Like how Amy's whispering in your ear in the headphones. I'm sure that's Roger.
A little more whisper, a little more sexy voice.
Thanks a lot. Dial up the sexy voice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the notes.
I think at times it can be sort of like maddening being in the studio and sort of like trying to figure everything out. And letting Roger just sort of do his thing and allow us to take a step back and be like, oh yeah, this just sounds good the way you did it. Don't listen to us. Anything.
And we're kind of like, I always think we're kind of like a bar band. Like we're not, we play with dynamics to some extent, but we're not like that really. We kind of just jam out and like rock out on stage. And so it's nice that he kind of crafts the songs into something that has, for like on an audio recording, it's much more important to have those depths and those layers.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys are working on your new album up in Toronto right now.
Yep.
And how's that going? And how much of the new stuff are you already putting into the live show tonight?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
That's what we're trying to figure out right
Tonight's
now.
kind of the first show, we're gonna get the chance to really play like a bunch of our new stuff that we're feeling comfortable with. So we're pretty excited.
Or not so comfortable with.
And yeah, actually, except for actually like not very comfortable with it all. But I mean, it's gonna be cool to play and just to see how people react, because it's hard for us to tell when we're like in the studio writing something and thinking of different parts and how the song should go, but we have no idea, like, because we're so close to it. So we need to get the input of people, like, objectively listening, and just to, hopefully they don't think it sucks. Like, hopefully we're on the right track.
And it's tough too, because like on an album tour, you practice for the album tour, right? But right now we're just recording, so our main experience with these songs is in the studio, which is very different. Like
Exactly.
when we're playing them live for the first time, like tonight, and it's like you don't really know what that's going to be like, because with this stuff off Hometowns, we played it 1,000 times, but with this new stuff, like we haven't played this stuff before
At all.
All we've done is listen to it through headphones or in our stereo and like play our own individual parts as we're tracking a song.
Right.
Yeah, and there's still a chance that some of these might not sound exactly like they will tonight,
Sure,
like,
sure.
We're still working on them. They're all works in progress. Like, nothing is totally finished yet on the record. We have a good idea about a lot of them, but it'll be neat to see how they end up and see how different they end up being from what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah. And how's the songwriting dynamic going? Like, I don't know, is like one person doing all the lyrics and collaborate on the musical side?
Yeah. It's sort of it's always sort of a different process. Usually I'll come with like a sketched out song idea or something, and then like Paul and I it really helps to sort of like get the guitar or the keyboard drum thing sort of locked in place, so we can figure that out, and then the three of us sort of like then rip it have this sort of like fundamental sort of thing. It's sort of like, what are we doing with it? But yeah, usually I think for the most part, like looking back on all the songs, it seems like that's the way it generally seems to work. So, but yeah, but you know, same time there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just something happens. So.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff has happened just in the studio this
Yeah.
time. Like, there's been a lot of parts that didn't exist when we went in there, you know, with a song.
Right.
And we come out at the end of the day, and there's like a brand new part on the song. It's like,
Yeah, I was gonna ask how much of the album, like, obviously you guys have been touring, so you've been writing stuff all the time, but how much of it actually you're in the recording studio? This part we know, kind of, we're gonna do this and this.
Well,
how much of it is just go in there and mess around and see what happens?
Well, it's kind of a little bit of both, you know, because sometimes, like a lot of songs we've done, we've tried our best to sort of like tour them on the road and just sort of work them out and be like, yeah, so we go in, we're like, have a generally clear idea of this is what's going to happen, this is sort of what we're going for, whereas, you know, we have a new song, which I think we're going to play for the second time live tonight, and it was just sort of like, it kind of came together all of a sudden. It was like, oh, okay, and it just worked the way it did, you know, we're just really happy with it, and I think there's a certain sense of like just spontaneity to it that, you know, that we tend to capture, that we're excited while we're in the middle of it, as opposed to, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it, you know. So, yeah, no, it's definitely a little bit of both, I think, so there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, just happens.
Yeah.
So tonight is your last show in the States, is that right?
For a while, I think.
For a while?
Probably
for the year, yeah.
For the year, and then I know you guys are going
That's
into
crazy.
Vancouver.
We're probably going to go to, in probably Portland, Seattle,
No,
when we do our
it's
Canadian
not.
thing. Don't think it's going to happen? Sounds like massive. But we may be. This may
Might be
our
our last
show.
one.
Might be the last show
We might
of the
spring
year.
a couple more in, but like, it's the last planned one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And,
As of right now.
Yeah.
And then you're doing Western Canada, and then finishing up in the studio.
We're gonna be going to Europe at the end of the year, like right before Christmas. But yeah, I mean, right now our main goal is to finish the record this fall. Like, as you know, the sooner the better, so we can put it out sooner and then start touring early next year.
Sounds great. Well, this has gone really well, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, Amy, Paul, and Nils.
Cool.
Rural Alberta
Thank you.
Advantage, hometowns. Catch it on iTunes, on Amazon Canada.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Find on Yahoo Music.
You don't have to just talk to them anymore. You can get a copy on your own.
It's everywhere except BitTorrent. It's not, you can't.
Not available on
So
BitTorrent.
weird, eh? How
Yeah.
you just can't get it for free anywhere.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Strange.
But if somehow you found it on there is an entry in Grace Notes for the track listings.
yeah.
All right.
So there
You
you
can
go.
download the cover art very easily.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks
It's
so
been
much.
great, and yeah, we're really looking forward to this show tonight.
Cool.
Cool.
We are too. We're just gotta perfect it right now.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
See you guys later.